Okay. So last week we talked about self-scoring and we talked about how students reflect on themselves when they were really involved in the gamified scoring in your gamification approach for your specific classes. And what we briefly spoke about is how what actually happens there, when you actually speak to them. See, there are a lot of key observational things that you need to do when you speak to students. Of course, you make your own observations because all of your students are varied ages. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about what is driving them and some of the key ingredients of gamification that actually pushes them to motivate. So to cut a long story short, I'll just share, not many, but just going to share very briefly about it. Okay. So today we just a discussion about 15 main ingredients for motivation in a gamified classroom. I came across a literature some time ago, sort of an article published by Buckley, Jim, and DeVille et al. About gamified motivation. Basically, what they were doing is they're looking at various sources as to what others have published about some of the common elements or the common themes that happens in a gamified process when an educator applies a gamified process into the classroom. Some of the common themes or the common elements are very much based on game elements. I know many educators have very mixed feelings about games, and some of you have given some very honest response to that. So some of the honest responses, were actually very truthful, because not everybody is aware that or they cannot reconcile between game elements, gamification, and what happens in the classroom. Sometimes we come to a point where we think that three very different areas, but actually, based on empirical studies or based on all the studies people have made and based on observations, based on speaking to students, and when I say speaking to students, I'm not talking about formal interviews. I'm talking about more like, just discussions and talking to them, really, and sometimes participating with them. And you can tell that it is discovered that a lot of these ingredients, a lot of these things are actually based on game elements. Now, whether we like it or not, something is happening here, and there's a lot of phenomenon in this world, of course, aligned with today's game industry and entertainment industry. They have basically a lot to do with our life, because we are in it. We watch, and we like to be entertained. We are human beings. So we want to entertain others. And for many varied reasons, the needs assessments are naturally done because you automatically know what the needs are. Of course, everything that you try to design for your classroom is based on a particular need. There are many pain points. So these pain points are like difficulty for the students to understand this part of maths, or difficulty for the students to understand certain things, or maybe they don't have the ability to pay attention, or maybe it's your teaching approach that was not quite not getting it in order, or it's just not getting them to pay or to focus enough in a particular subject. So as you all have designed lately for the past few days of sharing, I've seen some of those I've seen some of your designs and I've seen some of your ideas. And what do they all have in common? Number one, achievements. They all have the need to achieve something. Yeah. They have avatars. Let me go to the next slide. So they have achievements. Now, these snapshots are taken from that article. If you want, I can share that article with you. I'll post that article on the website for you to read. There are a couple of articles that are quite relevant under the gamification part that I can share. I might probably throw in 3 more articles for you to just have a read. And it's very much related on what we are talking about today. So achievements, basically in-game content, which you already have. Yeah, all of you have incorporated that. Avatars, well, not every design may incorporate avatars, but it's just an element of representation. It's just a visual representation of the student. It's either the student identify with whatever that you have provided, or you choose, or they get to choose what they want to identify with. Then badges, yeah. In Classcraft, you see these things as well. Now, Classcraft is one of many different measures to approach gamification via technology. So badges, yes. Boss fights, collections, in-game items that they can collect. And I noticed that some of you have put coins, that they collect coins, which is quite interesting. They collect items which you want them to collect, but what do they do later on? Yeah, you design it. Combat, which means like challenges. Yeah, combat is a term they use as a general term to represent challenges. Content unlocking, that means if they reach a certain level, they unlock a content. And that is also, that is significant in one of your groups, one of the groups presentation, I think based on that novel. Yeah. Then gifting, the practice of giving in-game virtual goods. Now, not all of these ingredients, I would say, is the standard ingredient. These are not standard ingredients, but some of these very much are connected to what you're doing. And I'm just trying, my point I'm trying to make is a lot of these elements are game elements. Leaderboards, which all of you have definitely put that as the main, one of your main frameworks to visually measure, yeah, achievements. Then levels, of course, related to the leaderboard. Points, you're using points. Now, points can be in various kind of points. You can actually make up your own currency, in-game currency, and etc. Then you have little mini quest or side quest or main quest, you know. You also have, now social graph is different. Social graph is pretty much, is also a measurement tool. For example, my social graph was to look at graduate capabilities because I'm in the higher education side. So I mapped out graduate capabilities where one of the components to measure is, say, for example, teamwork, right? So cooperation, levels of cooperation and things like that, interaction, interactivity, but it's all based on certain evidences. But of course, if you have classes with varied ages and you're teaching very different maturity levels, then the way they see interactivity or the way they see teamwork may vary. And of course, the grouping system, yeah? So you have teams and then you have virtual goods and etc. Now, some of these things may not be necessary for you, but some of these things may be. But most of these elements here are actually the game elements. So why am I talking about this is because these are some of the things that you might want to list, you know, in terms of determining whether you have, or to measure whether you have some of the core components that you can safely say qualifies as a gamified classroom. Because when the word gamified comes from the word game, and game comes from the word ludology. So ludology is it's about gaming, it's about playing, and or the state of play. But of course, I mentioned in the very beginning of our course is that some educators don't, I mean, you have an option, yeah, whether you want to choose the ludological approach to trying to get or reach an outcome for the classroom, or you just want to maintain the status quo of your classroom without necessarily qualifying your classroom as a gamified classroom. Both ways work, but should you choose the gamification approach, and very often you will see many of these elements. Now, if you were to incorporate or implement the gamification into other classes in future, or even for your own training, let's say if some of you are selected to conduct training yourselves, then if you want to convert your training into a gamified training, then there's got to be something that you want to incorporate. How would you do it? So there are a lot of factors to consider, but based on a lot of their studies and based on a number of studies, what I noticed that there are different, they realize, empirical studies have made them realize a lot of gamified approaches depend on type of students, type of subjects, and learning styles, yeah, learning culture, or maybe culture. So the key exploratory questions to that is, I would say, to find some common ground. There are three key exploratory questions that you can actually ask yourself when you actually want to make certain observations. And based on some of these studies, there are three main things that you might want to ask, but this can be broken down in further sub-questions, but I leave that to you. There are three things: competence, autonomy, and social relatedness. So what do you mean by competence? Competence, the ability to realize they're efficient. Now, this is a common thing because we all want students to feel like they're doing something correct. Yeah. When they achieve something on the leaderboard, when they get more badges, when they're going up, then they'll feel good about themselves. So is this a sense of motivation? Question mark. Is this motivating them? Does this necessarily mean that the students definitely will feel better? Is this the basis of it? When they visually see that they're moving up the ladder, or they're moving up on the leaderboard, is that tied to, I'm very clever? Yeah. Number two, autonomy. The aspects of choice making. And I noticed that a number of you have made creating simulations that allows the students to make choices. And this is quite unprecedented because not all educators resort to that way, or maybe they want to, but it's not a very easy thing to do. Now, this boils down to aspects of narrative. What kind of is narrative important? So storytelling, is it a very important component in gamification? Sometimes you did not want to have it narrative based, but sometimes you decided it has to have some kind of narrative background because you need to tie or connect things together. So when you connect things together, then the students will say, I see a path here, just like what you saw in Classcraft, which is a case study where paths are designed for your and quests are designed in a way as a pathway to completing your assignments or your tasks. Okay. Now, as you do that, does this mean that the student should be given choices? Is it a linear path or is it a non-linear path? Can students decide? Can they decide to score themselves? If they were to score, what decisions would they make? So key exploratory questions are very crucial in trying to understand your own gamified approaches in your class. And third thing is social relatedness. Well, social relatedness means how do they relate to each other? How is everything being done in the class? And for example, just like the earlier, some of the key ingredients is gifting. So the practice of giving in-game virtual goods to each other or to other players, or players can actually assist. I've encountered situations where students decided to ally with another students, or one group decided to ally with another group because that group needed help. And that group got the courage to ask help from the other group. Sometimes some students decided that, okay, we have already finished this task and we know that we're going to get more XPs, but we want to be willing to share. So they got more XPs, they managed to get additional points, then they wanted to share with this group. And I asked them, why would you do something like that? Then, so I sort of played the devil's advocate. So they said, no, we believe in helping each other. It totally eliminated the competitiveness. I was expecting competition, but on the other hand, I saw something else was happening there. And why did they do that in the first place? Because they felt that the whole process was relatable. Their struggles were relatable. And also they realized something about the teacher, and they know the teacher is have expectations. So somehow, because of that realization or certain awareness, then they try to cooperate. So there are a lot of, so these three key terms is what I would leave with you. Something that you might want to explore and discover along the way. But one of the most important thing now, to tie all these things together when it comes to some of the main key ingredients to gamification, is the bottom line is does this actually motivate the students? Does this provide evidence that the students are actually motivated? Does this make the students, does it affect the students emotionally? Will they be happy? Are they happy, and why are they being happy? So that's the thing that ties all these things together, because at the end of the day, right, like I said, we want entertainment and we want to entertain. We want them, we don't want the state of play to be ambiguous or vague or unclear. We want playful experiences to be educational. But these are also very general terms. But when you say educational, playful experiences, it really means what is really happening to them. So it's important that we always engage socially. I plan to play a game with you, something that I kind of played with my students before. It's a little activity. I know we're not talking about our leaderboards or anything now, but I thought I want to play a game with you. Just more like a question and answer, more like a question. It's not a quiz or anything. I'm not testing your knowledge or anything. But so I have with me 2 decks of cards. I have with me 2 decks of cards. Now the game is called the Ungame. I don't know whether you heard of this. Now the Ungame is a social game. Now it is designed for social interaction. So It has two deck of cards, and it's very popularly played among teens. But some of the questions I felt was um, can be applied to adults too. Let me just shuffle it. I'm kind of shuffling these cards. I'm not very good at shuffling. So I'm going to shuffle these cards. So I've got two deck of cards. I want you to choose. Would you want to choose serious questions? Now the two. I know it's kind of color. Yeah. This one is the white with the white background. This is a little serious questions. Some serious questions, or all serious questions. And this one here, this one is some fun questions. So which one do you guys want to try? Fun question or serious question?
Fun. Questions.
Fun question.
Fun.
Fun? Everybody want fun?
Yes.
All right then.
Fun after a heavy day.
I know. I sense it. Now, usually, right, this is best played in person. So let me just see if I shuffled properly. Yeah, I'm not. I see when I okay. Right now, because it's a virtual camera, so you might see the screen a little bit weird. But don't worry, I'll read out the questions to you. So when I pick this question up, I'm not going to see what's underneath. So each one of these cards, I'm going to go from what I'm seeing on my screen right now. Melvin, I'm kind of like beside Melvin, unless if I move myself this way. Oh yeah, okay, fine. So I'm basing on my screen, okay? So so you really won't know who's really next. So I will read out the names. Now the person next to me is Farah Fazil. So she's be first, Melvin second, Tinsha, then from Tinsha down to Stephanie, Allison, Rachel, Sarah, then down to Sarah, Joy, Shahira, Juju, and Kam, and then from Kam down to Xiaojin, Noor, Sophia, Mr. Lee. Do I have anyone else? That's it. Okay. First question to Farah. Now, Farah, the rule of this game is you must answer the question. There's no time, okay? It's not time sensitive. Just answer the question, all right? As honestly as you can.
Okay.
Now, because these are fun cards, okay? Now, I'm not asking you to embarrass yourself, don't worry.
Can I ask help from others? Can I?
What?
They are allowed to ask any help from others if I cannot answer.
Well, wait and see. There is a card here, ask another person. Okay, so,
Okay.
but make sure, all right. Okay, you ready now for your first question?
Yes.
Okay, proof, yeah, I'm holding one, then first question. Now I'm seeing the question. Huh? First question, how important is it for you to be popular?
Okay.
But remember, you must answer this as honestly as possible. Now, everyone, every answer that's answered in this session stays in this session.
To be popular.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Why I must? Okay. Can you repeat again the question? Sorry.
Okay. How important is it for you to be popular?
Oh, okay. Connection. Yes. I have no idea.
You're holding
Lost.
back.
Lost.
You have to answer it. You're not answering. Has she answered yet? No, she hasn't answered yet. So you have to answer it. Only after you answer, then I'll go to the next person.
Oh, okay. I think it's important because okay, because I'm an art teacher, right? So I have to connect to get more connection. Okay, I don't know how to answer. To promote, okay, to promote myself, because for this artwork, something like that. Okay.
How is it important to be popular?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, important to be
It is
popular.
important.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God, he's turned red. Okay, Farah. Good
Sorry,
answer. Thank you for
sorry.
answering. Yeah, that's good. That's excellent.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, nice. See, we hardly hear Farah talking. Finally, we do. All right, now here goes now Melvin, your next card. Uh-huh. Now this is a more academic question. Now, if you were a teacher, you are, what things would you do to make learning exciting? Now, let's not talk about what you're already doing.
Underwater classes.
Underwater classes. Now, okay, I want to be your student now. All right, thank you, Melvin. That's interesting. All right, moving on to Tinsha. Underwater classes. Your question. Okay, this is a financial question. Talk about allowances and whether or not parents should give them to teenagers.
Yes, I think parents should give their teenage kids allowance because it will teach them responsibility. And if you want something, you gotta work for it. But they, of course, a parent should not overdo it. Like, okay, you sweep the floor, you get $100. That doesn't make sense. But that shows that I mean, in a way, kids, teenagers also, they want to have their own money wherever they want to go, so that they don't keep on asking and begging parents. I think you build self-confidence as well. Yeah, so I think yes, it's important to give allowance to teenagers.
Interesting answer there. Anyone has anything to say about that? I used to ask my kids like, hey, who wants to earn $5? Because I'm lazy, because I was lazy to wash my car. I said, well, my son sort of grabbed the opportunity. Then I realized he could have asked me for $10, So anyway, yeah. All right, back now down to Stephanie. Your question is, wow. Share 3 things you think you need in order to be happy. Okay, let me repeat that. Share 3 things you think you need in order to be happy.
Oh, I like this question.
Okay, number 1, money.
Okay.
Number 2, my cats.
Your cats. How many cats have you got?
6.
No way. You got 6 cats.
Yeah, there's one here.
No way.
And the rest are elsewhere.
The
And,
rest are what?
The rest are somewhere
Oh,
around.
elsewhere.
Yes.
Okay. What's the third one?
Third one. Let me see. Very good food. Yeah, I'm a foodie.
You're a foodie.
Food, yeah, food makes me happy. Good food.
Nice. Nice. What's your favorite sort of dish?
I'm actually quite open to many styles. So it's very hard to, whenever anyone asks me what's my favorite food, that's very hard. I mean, I like Korean, Japanese, and Malaysian food. I like Western food. So it's nothing specific. I think the food, as long as it's good, it's done well, it's done properly. Yeah, anything can taste good. Yeah.
You know what? I love cats. I've got 2 dogs. They're both very homely dogs, but I really want a cat. My wife doesn't want a cat. She doesn't want one, but I really want one. So I'm definitely going to try to speak her into it. Okay. Thank you. Alison. Right. This is your question. What is your favorite movie and why do you like it? Aha. You must say why.
This is the toughest question ever because I don't watch movies.
You don't watch. Good
I can't
opportunity
watch.
for you.
I only watch drama. So I can't
What?
I only watch drama, but I don't watch like movies which will take like 2-3 hours because I feel that I need to spend time watching it. Drama, I know the characters without looking at the scene. I can actually work and then while listening to their conversation, that I know who is speaking. Yeah, so movie, which movie? I can't really recall because. But can I talk about the genre?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer horror movies to scare myself. Yeah, pay money and then scare myself. I don't like romance. I don't like other things other than horror movies. Yeah.
Wow. Well, why do you want to scare yourself?
I like the thrill. I mean, it's exciting. I love the sound effects and all that. But I do cover my eyes sometimes. Then my husband will laugh at me and then why are you doing this? And then if you want to watch, then just watch it while you're covering your eyes. I said no. I think sometimes when we are very stressful and then we pick something that we like. So I also do not know why I particularly like that one. But normally romance, I will fall asleep. I don't really watch until the end of the movie. Yeah.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to be stereotyped. Usually we tend to stereotype women as big fans of romance genres, but not really, huh? Yeah. So yeah.
For Marvel stories that people love it, and Avatar, right? People watch until the end, but throughout the whole movie, I slept throughout.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, thanks. That's very refreshing.
Yeah.
Now this one, Rachel. Yeah, you got the lucky card. Now this card says, okay, you may ask a player one question or comment on any subject you choose. Ta-da! You got the lucky card here. So what would you want to do? Two choices.
Two choices.
Which one would you want to do? Ask a player one question, but make sure that question is a very challenging question, or comment on any subject you choose.
I don't know.
You got the luckiest card. You got two choices, and the rule of the game is you must make a choice.
Players, maybe.
Okay, choose a player. You have all of them here. Mr. Lee looks very ready for a question.
Okay, so I can put anyone here, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Dr. Charles.
Me? I should have added the rule. Don't include me. All right, this is scary. Okay, shoot. Any question you want. Challenge.
Challenge. Okay. It's not quite challenge. How are you?
How am I?
Yeah.
You call that a question? Well, I'm happy now. Yeah. I'm happy. Yeah. Is that the answer you want? Okay, tell you what. Ask me another question.
Okay. What is your hobby?
What?
What is your hobby?
Ah, that's a very hard question. But I've got a few hobbies. I like crafting. I like gardening. Gardening currently now top of my hobby because I like going outside and snipping the flowers, checking on my mango tree, weeding. It's therapeutic for some reason. I just like weeding, playing with dirt, getting my hands into dirt, and yeah, accidentally finding insects in it and things like that. So yeah, I like gardening. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, good. Right, moving on to Sarah. Okay, let's see what question you got. Aha. Sarah, this is yours. Complete the statement. My favorite kind of party is Can't hear you. No, we still can't hear you.
Testing, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. My favorite kind of party would involve like probably lots of people, probably like a huge live concert because I haven't been to one for a long time. Live concert, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have. Some of you have, right? You have no idea what you're going to get in yourself into. It's really amazing.
Yeah, I haven't been for the last one I went was Alicia Keys concert, but I would like to attend Coldplay's concert or U2, but I don't think U2 is touring anymore. Yeah.
You like U2?
Yeah, I like U2. I'm quite old school. Yeah, I like U2. I like Coldplay.
Me
yeah.
too. I like U2 too. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Okay, cool. Right. So thank you very much. Nice. This is going well. Joy.
Yes.
For you now. All right, this is your question. What would you do if you saw someone shoplifting?
Maybe take out my smartphone, take a picture. And show to the authorities or the shopkeeper.
Right. You don't want to catch the shoplifter yourself?
No, definitely not.
Okay. All right. So we can expect a lot of social media photos from that. Thank you very much. Okay, next question. Wait, hang on. Oops, something's wrong. Wait. The same questions are appearing. Okay, yeah. All right, Shahira, your turn. This is a question for you. What kind of leader are you most apt to follow?
What kind of leader?
What kind of leader are you most apt to follow? That means what kind of leader would you follow? What type of leader would you tend to follow?
Okay. I will follow leader who share his or her knowledge with me and the rest of the team. The leader who understand and know how to quick to solve a problem. But I really love a leader who are also very strict and firm at the same time. But understanding, but also firm and strict. Yeah, I will follow that leader.
All right. Can I ask you a controversial question?
Oh, yeah.
Are you following a leader who is like that now?
Yeah. I have few leaders actually. I follow them. They have different characters, different way of handling things, and I think because of their differentiations, they have different characters. So it's actually give me a broad perspective on how to work in a group like that.
That's really good to know. Thank you, Shaira.
Dr. Charles.
Okay, Juju, your turn. Okay, this is a question for you, Juju. Be honest, yeah?
Yes, Dr. Charles.
Are you interested in your historical background? Why or why not?
Historical background,
Yeah.
as in like where my ancestors come from.
Do you know?
To be very honest, not really interested because I feel that there is maybe I'm not a very traditional kind of person. Like I don't really go back to my roots, and okay, maybe I don't really care also. Like like what they did. I mean, not really. Not I don't care about them, but I mean, I'm not that kind of person who really wants to know. Like I go back to my roots. I go back to China and find my roots. That's what my parents did, but I did not tag along.
Why? Why not?
Because I'm not really interested. Maybe I should say like that. Like not really interested. Yeah. Maybe it's just not something that I think is important. I think. Yeah. Personally. Like, okay, maybe people here do feel that it's important, but maybe not for me. I don't know. Yeah, that's very, very honest from me, like super honest.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for your honesty. And the reason why I paused a little bit because hmm,
It's not the answer that you expected.
yeah, not really.
Really?
Yeah, not really.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought eventually you would say I kind of expected to say like
Yeah.
yeah. At some point you
Mhm.
would need to know, right? You would
Really?
need to know. I don't know.
I think that's the point. I think I don't need to know. Like what? Okay, then Dr. Charles, why would you need to know? Like, I
But why
don't
would I
understand
need to
why.
know?
Yeah. Like, why? Maybe like more towards like
Yeah. Why would I need to know? Actually, it's a
yeah,
very
maybe my direct like grandparents, then yeah, I know them.
yeah.
But if you're talking about great like historical background, then not really.
What if somebody who's say your grandparents come and tell you, hey Juju, do you know your ancestor was a poet in the Emperor Ming's dynasty, Emperor Ming's court, and you know that's probably where you got your gifts from. So what would you say to that?
Maybe if they were to tell me this, then it's a different story. But so far, none of them told me anything about me being a descendant of the Ming dynasty or the Qing dynasty. So no, for now, still no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I never really. I kind of agree
But
with.
that's very interesting, Dr. Charles. Like
Yeah.
very interesting. What if, your historical background is actually you're actually a royal, maybe.
Yeah, no, the
Royalty
thing,
background.
the reason, one of the things that also came, I never really bothered myself, but then lately, right, Indians who have, I mean, we were told by the Indian embassy that the Indian embassy in Malaysia actually said that if you have living ancestors who are currently in India right now alive, and if you are direct descendants of them, you could apply for a people of Indian origin card. So in case of World War or anything like that, in case of major thing, and you need to go back to India, or you want to migrate back to your homeland or your land of your ancestors, they'll take you back because you have a PIO thing. And my dad was going on and on about it. I was like, I was born in this country. And I'm kind of happy here. I don't need to go nowhere, That's why I never really applied for it, because if I applied for it, I'm not having faith in my home country. Yeah. So I see this place as my home. So that's my justification of that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, thought-provoking answer there. Thank you, Juju.
Thank you, Dr. Charles.
All right, come, your turn. Okay, this is your question. At what sport are you best?
I enjoy workout. Or I think for sports, right, I prefer running.
Oh, you're
Running.
a runner.
Yeah, and I also do rope skipping.
Nice. Right, that's good. Have you gone into have you participated in a marathon or anything?
Sorry?
Have you participated in a marathon? Have you ran in a marathon?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. You got yourself a runner. I guess you already know that. Nice one. Okay. Thank you, Kam. Okay. Mr. Lee, interesting question for you. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, it's all right. Same thing. Okay, I'm going down to Mr. Lee now. Okay, Mr. Lee, your question is, if you were a high school principal, what is something you would do? That's the question. That's what it says on the card.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
That is never my ambition, actually. Yeah.
But if you were a high school principal,
I can't imagine because even right, I was offered to be HOD, so many, many times I rejected that also. I just want to be the leader of my student only. Yeah.
Okay, but what if what would you do? What is the something you would do?
To what? To the school or to the
I
student?
don't know. That's why this is a question is weird. Okay, what good things would you do as a high school principal? What is one thing that you would change as a high school principal if you were a high school principal or HOD?
Yeah, then all the teachers don't have to wear formal to school. They can wear like a college student.
Here's my CV. All right, Mr. Lee, that's good. Thank you. Good answer. Very good answer. Okay. Sonia, your question. All right, let's see. Oh, describe your favorite meal.
Okay, that's just very easy because my favorite meal would be asam laksa, and not the Penang asam laksa. It's like the Kedah asam laksa. So yeah, it's really spicy, so I like that.
Yeah, speaking of asam laksa, I really miss the Kedah one. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. All right, Xiao Jin. This is a very important question. What are the characteristics of a good marriage?
Money.
That's it?
The wife need to have control of the money, then you will be a happy marriage.
Oh my God. Okay. That's it? Is that all?
That's it.
Wow. So you think the marriage will be totally happy because the wife control the money?
If the wife happy, the entire family happy.
Oh man, I hate to admit it is true. Okay. Thank you, Xiaojin. All right. Noor Shaira. Your question is, share a time when peer pressure influenced you. Was the outcome positive or negative?
So far, I never got any peer pressure because I think like for me, if you ask me, like my friends also know me, like if I face any pressure, I will totally like let it go, like just forget it. We just enjoy our life and do whatever we want, like that. I totally like it. Honestly, I don't think the peer pressure affect me at all.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
You that means you're very strong inside.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like, yeah, I'm so strong. I
No.
mean like I mean like yeah, I don't really got affected by any pressure from other people. Yeah. So just enjoy.
You're strong. You're not easily influenced. That's what you're trying to say. Wow, very good, very good. Thanks for answering this question. Now, ta-da, white cards. But don't worry, I don't think these cards are. Yep, they're probably going to be fun too. Okay, let's just have a look. Okay, question number 1. This is one more round, yeah. Back to
me.
Okay, then back to Farah. Okay, Farah. Okay, I don't know what you're going to make of this question. All
Oh
right.
my goodness.
How would you tell someone you have been dating that you do not want to date them anymore?
Oh,
Okay, let me repeat the question. How
I
would
never.
What? What did you say?
No.
No. How would you tell someone you have been dating that you do not want to date them anymore?
Block him on
Sorry.
Instagram, Farah.
I just say,
Think of something.
sorry, I got someone else. Just
You go what?
someone else. I tipu. I can tipu lah.
Oh, you get all right. So you have somebody else. And
Even I have no one. Oh, like that.
I see. So by telling the person that you already have someone else.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting
Okay.
strategy. Good strategy. Okay, Melvin. Ask a player one question or comment on any subject you choose.
Ask the player anything, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, actually.
Or comment on anything that any subject that you choose.
Comment on any subject that I choose. Oh, nothing comes to mind. Could I get another question, perhaps?
Okay, sure. Why do you think some people are cruel?
Oh, I guess it's a question of nature versus nurture, isn't it? I guess. For me, I guess, yeah, for me.
Nature.
Whether you could say someone is born cruel, or that that person, no matter what happens, is going to end up that way, or you could say it's environmental factors as to, like, certain events in life made that person cruel, but had a tough life or stuff like that. So one of those, I don't know, it's still a debate, I guess, for me.
Yeah, probably some traumatic childhood.
Yeah, so that's the nurture argument.
Yeah, looks like this white card really asks some difficult questions, right? Okay, another question here to Tinsha. Thank you, Melvin. Share a special event you recall from your childhood. Oh no. Did I ask the right question or the wrong question? I think she's finding it difficult to choose. She's got tons.
I can't think of any.
They must be all special then. Must be a very difficult question.
Oh, yeah, very difficult.
That's okay. Do you want a different question?
Okay.
Okay. Complete the statement. I feel free to be myself when
I'm driving alone.
I get the feeling.
Yeah.
Actually, it's very true, Sometimes when you drive alone, it's probably that moment that you could say anything, sing any song, no one's going to hear you, right? And you could probably dream as well. So just muscle memory driving the car, isn't it?
Yeah, I like to wind down the window and put the music very loud and just drive. Yeah.
Freedom. Thank you, Tinsha. Okay, Stephanie. All right, Stephanie, here goes. If you were the parent, how would you feel about having yourself for a child?
Wow. This, when I think of it from that perspective, I'm like, my mom must be very great. How would I feel? Okay, as a mom, I would say that lucky. Because I'm not a very difficult child to handle. And I'm quite obedient. I'm not the naughty one. I'm actually the more obedient one. Yeah, and probably sometimes a little bit frustrated because apparently as a kid, I tend to be a pushover.
Right.
So because I wanted to be nice to everyone, that sort of thing. So yeah, so there's always ups and downs. So, but generally lucky, yeah.
That's good. Thank you for the very honest answer. Very touching. Okay, Alison Chong, your question would be, if you could have any pet in the world, what would it be and why?
I think would be a doggy.
A dog.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm scared of dogs actually, but makes me remind I can actually remember when I see the dog, maybe I can recall the memories with my grandpa. Yeah. So I think that's something that I want to have if I have a pet. Yeah.
That is so sweet. All right. Nice. Nice. Thank you for sharing, Alison. Okay, Rachel. Back to you. We really need to hear some answers now. This is a good one. Talk about your favorite music group and why you like them.
Favorite music must be a group.
Yeah. Music group. Anyone. Musicians in a group, band or
Cannot think of.
you listen to music, right?
I listen to music, yes.
Okay.
But it's not a band. I listen to Kenny G, the saxophone. But it's
Oh,
not a band.
that's okay. So you
It's
still
okay.
it's okay. You still listen to
Okay.
Kenny G?
Yeah.
Wow. I stopped listening. Well, sometimes when I do hear Kenny G's music, I kind of forget how good he sounds like. Yeah. I remember the first Kenny G song I've ever heard was Songbird.
Yeah, the Songbird.
Songbird, yeah. When I heard that, wow, that was mind-blowing. So you still listen to Kenny G today, yeah?
Yes.
And why do you like Kenny G? Why you like his songs?
I just admire him. He's really, really talented.
How
And
do
I
you
love all the music. Yeah, I love all the music that he played.
and how do you feel when you listen to his music?
It's very relaxing. I really
Mm.
enjoy about it. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Rachel.
Okay.
Sarah, for you. Now complete this statement. Something I really need at this time in my life is.
Sorry, say again. It's a bit
Okay.
noisier because of my kids. Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, here it is. Complete the statement. Something I really need at this time in my life is.
Oh. Something that I really need at this time would be a nice beach holiday and properly like overseas, not just here. Yeah. I would like to escape somewhere.
I think that is one of the best answers for what we need today.
For everybody, I think
For everyone. Yeah, I think we all can relate. Wow, thanks for reminding us. Thank you, Sarah. All right, Joy.
Yes, sir.
Here goes. Okay. Approximately how many hours of TV do you watch each day? What programs are your favorites?
I watch Netflix. I would prefer the movies instead of the dramas so that I can finish it up in 2 hours. I like thrilling kind of movies, action-packed, and yeah, basically that too. Thrill and action-packed.
Okay, well, doesn't seem like a very challenging question, isn't it? Okay, now I'm going to give you a free card. You may ask a player one question or comment on any subject that you want.
Can I change the question?
Okay. All right, let's see. Describe the ideal weekend.
Oh, it would still be like Miss Sarah going for a nice vacation at the beach.
Wow.
Yeah. That's like the ultimate goal, for a lot of people actually.
Yeah, from everybody's expression, yes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Joy.
Thanks.
Okay, Shaira. Complete the statement. When I'm criticized, I unmute yourself.
When I'm criticized, I'm going to giving the fact, but I will make sure that it's something that benefit the other party. so that they will work on it and improve on it.
But when you, I mean, the question says when I am criticized.
Sorry?
When I am criticized. When I am criticized, that means
So
if you were to read this card, like it means when you are criticized, what would you do?
I mean, I've been criticized.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I've been criticized, I'm just gonna like not like arguing with the people, but asking what areas that I should improve on, and also try to move on and improve lah.
Okay. Yeah, it
Cliche,
depends.
right?
It really depends what the criticism is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the depends on what, and also how actually they criticize me. If like it's really like more into like personal attack, probably I will basically it will be a different
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to get there.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Shaira. Okay, let's see. Right, Juju. What do you want to be doing 5 years from now?
Oh, very interesting question. What do I want to be doing 5 years from now? I still want to teach, but at the same time, I might want to do business, maybe have open a cafe or something. Yeah, that's probably my dream. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, keep us updated. Thank you, Juju. Kam, describe the kind of car you would like to own?
I'm not sure. I don't really like car. I don't really like car. Maybe a car that doesn't need me to drive. I think they have that kind of technology, right? Yeah.
Anyway, you reminded me of what my daughter said the other day. When we were just thinking about what car to get for her, whatever, then my daughter said, I don't want a car. And I said, oh yeah, but don't worry about the money, whatever. And then my daughter said, no, really, seriously, cars are bad investment. Like, what? They're bad investment. I don't think I want to own one unless because she's all like higher purchase nonsense and all those sort of things. Like, yeah, but if you do it for a short period of time, it should be fine, right? But then nevertheless, you kind of like slave to them for a while, and it's so idealistic, So she said, yeah, if I want to get a car, I'm buying it cash. And then again, it devalues. So what's the point? So like might as well rent it, or whatever. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So it's like kind of like reminded me of that. I mean, she doesn't like cars for that purpose because a lot of people get duped into buying cars, and yeah.
One thing for me is that I don't like to drive.
Yeah.
I don't like to drive, and I'm actually quite afraid to be on the road. Yeah. Even though I've been driving for a long time, but I think because of the few times that I got into accident, so I'm a bit traumatized by it, and I don't really like to drive. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I know it's not an easy thing to deal with. Okay, thank you, Kam. Mr. Lee, back to you. Okay, Mr. Lee. What sort of things embarrass you, Mr. Lee?
It's a very tough question because I don't know, I very hardly get embarrassed. Maybe giving a speech in public, I guess.
Oh, have you had many opportunities to give public speeches, or?
No, I don't like that.
You don't like that?
Yeah, I don't like.
But I'm sure you spoke
in front of my student. I don't mind. It depends on who the audience. If my student even like 100, 1,000, I don't mind because I love them.
Oh, that is so sweet. Okay, but what about in front of all the teachers?
Then a little bit of embarrassed or maybe scared. Yeah.
I see. But you've had opportunities to do that before, yeah?
I think I did that before. Yeah.
Right. I guess you just need to do it more often. Because from how you speak earlier as well, and how you explain in this class, just sharing, I think you got a lot to tell us.
No, I think everyone have their own story. Yeah.
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 Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Everyone have very good things to tell each other. But just specifically for you, when you say that that you're not very good in, you don't really like public speaking, but in my opinion, from what I've experienced, I think you also have a lot of things that you can tell us, and I think many can learn from you. So you should get used to it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll think about it, but I'll prefer to give it in front of my student. I got a lot of things to tell my students.
Yeah. And think of those who you're going to speak to are your students as well, including, see, like I'm your student as well.
No, it cannot.
No, you're just a wonderful, humble person. That's the reason why the more you are like this, the more people want to listen to you.
Okay, maybe I should change.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Okay, Sonia. Oh dear. Okay, sorry for asking this question, but it's in the card. It says, what depresses you most?
Very subjective question.
Indeed.
But okay, so I think one thing that depresses me the most, I would say I'll just share two scenarios. Like one would be for like daily life, and then one would be in the classroom. So I would say that in daily life, if I'm talking about, probably like a story, like how girls usually, they come back and then, like they really want to, talk about their day, and then suddenly somebody, cuts you off. And I have this thing where I have this short-term memory loss where if somebody cuts me off, right, I just lose my train of thought, and then I'm like, yeah,
I think she got cut off.
The story is already like gone, depressing. Yeah, sometimes I guess another person would like to share their part of the day,
right?
And then suddenly, if they share their part, and I was like, oh, I forgot already, like, what I was about to say. And that, like, that to me can be like super depressing. And then, sometimes I don't remember whatever I really want to share. I don't know why I have this short-term memory loss. Maybe it's just old age. I don't know. Yeah. And then I would say another thing in the classroom, I think when we are back in physical class, right, especially when we are having like, our mask on, and then if we have to tell like, students to like, sit down quietly, and then you have to teach using the mask, I think like, getting them to like, sit down and, to be quiet, right, and, talking with that mask on, it's quite depressing for a teacher. So because you just get out of breath. Yeah, so yeah, I would just say it's nothing very serious, but yeah, I mean that kind of like, depresses me. Oh, sorry.
Oh dear. Wow. Do you all have to use your mask and teach if you're in class?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I guess because, and not all your students are fully vaccinated just yet, right? Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah, because we are not back in school, but when we were back for a brief while, we had to teach with a mask on, and then some of us, we even had the shield on. So sometimes when you talk with the shield on, you hear your echo, through your ears. So it's like it's quite depressing lah, as a teacher to go through that.
Indeed. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. It's a very, very yeah, that's the hard truth. Thank you, Sonia. Okay, Xiaojin, this is your question. Talk about someone close to you with whom you can share almost anything.
Well, this person has similar weight like me. We have the same hobby. We like to eat a lot. And then she is much shorter than me, and then younger than me as well. And really enjoy to be a friend. I mean, she is a very, very good friend.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah.
It's a very rare thing to have a friend like that, isn't it?
Yeah. And different race some more.
Really?
Yes.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Hope you can write about it one day. Thank you, Xiaojin. All right, Noor. Okay, let's see. Okay, name two things that help people have a close relationship.
Food, money.
Money.
Food, money.
Say that again.
Food, makan.
Oh, food and money.
Yes, and duit.
These are the two things.
Yep.
Okay, you seem to have jumped to that conclusion. It is food and money.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone use the reaction button in Zoom. Who says, if everyone agree with food, put a heart. If everyone says money, put a thumbs up.
If both, how, yeah?
If both, smiley face. Okay. How come nobody ever says love? How come so far everyone answer all these questions, right? When it comes to questions like that, nobody ever says love. Everyone says
You know what, Dr. Charles?
Why?
When we eat together, I mean, like when we eat the food together, that is the time when we inculcate the love among each other, right?
Yeah. So you're saying it happens through the activity of sharing.
And for money, right? When we go shopping together, that is the time, the precious time.
I see. So there's a lot of love in the activities. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we've just had, thank you, Noor. We've had 2 rounds of the Ungame. So what did you all think about this Q&A? What did you all think about this question answers? And how did you feel about answering some of these questions? Did you feel like you were revealing something, or did you feel good about talking about it? Did you feel nice to hear from others about what they think about the subjects?
I think it's very thought-provoking. Some of the questions we probably didn't even think about. I mean, we had to think a bit ourselves before we answer.
Yeah.
And some things are also like we get to know our colleagues more. I never knew that Miss Alison was married actually, so now I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there are some. I think we get to learn a lot about each other, because we don't normally ask each other these kind of questions.
Absolutely. Who's married here? Put a heart. Four person. Only 4. Okay, the rest are not married. Okay.
That's why you asked me about marriage is so weird just now.
Okay. I actually thought you were married. All right. I understand. Yeah. Okay, so the rest of you
Charles, you forgot to include yourself.
Myself. I'm married. I'm married. My daughter is 21 years old. She's in law school, and my son is 17. So my wife's a teacher like you, and she's teaching in secondary school. So that's why I always say I get it because I see her bringing back work and I had to take over cooking, many times when she has classes. And I had to take over the laundry. I had to dry the clothes. And she kind of reminds me, don't sit in your room, help me out. Can you help me with the printing? I gotta get 3 supplies of cartridges here. I'm like, that's your school supply printer ink. Like, come on, stop asking me these questions. Yeah, argue a little bit. Okay, fine. I'll get the printing done. Oh my gosh, gotta take the dogs out. And I was thinking, why is this pandemic still happening? And some of our popular arguments like, oh well, it's so easy for you to go all the way out there near Sunway, and I'm over here trying to manage stuff, and you just come back here and you just eat for free. And it's like, oh, that's not true. I'm working. Yeah, whatever I'm earning. Yeah, but the work is important. So it's like chicken and egg story argument kind of issue. Very common among married couples. I guess you guys can relate. So, but the nice thing about, I mean, that's what marriage is about. It's just, I used to live in this fantasy world that marriage, once you get married to the person of your dreams, or you're courting and I want to live with you forever. You write poetries after poetries. And then after you get married, it's like, I didn't sign up for this shit. I used to dream of this fantasy world that I thought when you get into a marriage, everything is fine and dandy. No, it's not. It's not about fine and dandy. It's not about what is not fine. It's really about journey. So I guess you've heard that 1,000 times, and it's so true. That journey, yeah, that's the thing. And I guess in your late 40s, if you're in your late 40s like myself, then it will dawn to you. It is the journey. It will come to that point, and the mystery is over already. So you kind of got really used to each other. And you know what's the wonderful thing about it? We know exactly what we like. We know exactly what we don't like about stuff, and I make it a point to sit with her and binge on Netflix every night after I've had my hours here. And and we have to do it because that is our ritual daily. And sometimes you just find a way, and that happens because of I guess really getting to know a person. And I guess among relationships, even with our students and among teachers themselves, that self-efficacy that's the basis of that. That's the basis of feeling important, of basis of feeling good, feeling that. So it's not really about competence, feeling competency level. It's just a given. And I see my students already understanding that if I get a CGPA of 3.5 or 3.6, I qualify to apply for a scholarship. Then, sir, do you think you can give me an A, at least a B plus or A minus? I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I do it right now. But the question is, do you feel satisfied that you've invested enough to get it? I'm not giving you that criteria. I leave that choice to you. So when I ask my students to rate themselves between 1 to 10, then they actually start to think, have I actually invested enough, or have I done enough communications? It's not so much of what I do on a piece of paper, but I'm just saying, again, this is the context of what my classes are like. But then again, every one of you is very different. So I'm going to leave this with you. Today is fun. I had fun having this question answer session with you. And in that respect, I also got to know some of you. And those who don't speak a lot, yeah, you're starting to speak. That's good. Yeah, that's a good sign. Now, before we end our session, just to let you know, next week, hopefully you could complete your website. Okay. I'll just leave that to you. Complete your websites. So each group, next week during our session, what we're going to consolidate the information. And basically, we have already covered all the topics that we need to cover. So in terms of consolidation, you just have to submit your websites. But we can do that in session next week. Yeah. So have your websites ready. you submit the website, I'll just put it all there, and we'll finish my leaderboard, and then I'll issue you your part 1 cert. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next week. So I hope then maybe you can also share for each group. Maybe we'll have a bit of a reflection session or reflection, and what have you gained from the 8 days or the 7 days basically from our course. Okay. Anyone have any questions? Thanks so much for joining, and I hope it was okay for you this time, and hope you guys have a good evening. Yeah, and enjoy your family. All right, take care. Have a good night.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Chow.
You're welcome.
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Dr. Charles.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.